For about $500,000, the Lamborghini Huracan Coupe is arguably the best look-at-me supercar money can buy in Australia. But despite its incredible performance, we do live in a nanny state, which makes it hard to appreciate. So, if you're going to spend the majority of your time going slow, wouldn't you rather be seen? The Huracan Spyer is priced at around $500,000, a reasonable chunk more than the coupe. But for that, you get this open-top freedom in a naturally aspirated V10 supercar that will soon be extinct. There is a compromise though compared to the coupe, and that's extra weight and a little bit slower in the acceleration. But really, would you care? I certainly don't. I mean, have a listen to this. I'm just driving around Brisbane CBD at the moment, and either I'm a Justin Bieber lookalike with a beard, or the Huracan Spyer is very much got a giant look at me sign attached to the back of it. Whatever the case may be, everyone cannot stop staring. And that's perhaps what I love the most about Lamborghini, that unashamedly in-your-face look. And you know, some people do say that with the Huracan, the Italians went a little bit soft on the styling. It's not as sharp, it's not as edgy as Lamborghini used to be. But in my opinion, this still has that timeless look, that sort of feel that you get from looking at a Lamborghini. Go look at a 10-year-old Gallardo now and it still looks good. And there's no doubt in my mind that this thing will still look just as good in a decade. I'm not 100% sold on this car's interior, particularly this Audi instrument cluster, but everything else about this Lambo feels as it should. Look, it's completely impractical. There's absolutely nowhere to put anything, but it's done for all the right reasons. The front end will stay up till you hit about 70 kilometers an hour, but if you go slower again, the nose is not up, so you got to manually re-engage, which can get a little bit annoying. In saying that though, the Huracan Spyer really comes alive when you engage Corsa and find a twisty road. I know I said earlier that you should compromise on performance and go for the Spyder over the coupe, but I've been trying my damn hardest to figure out what that compromise is supposed to be. I'm just going around some seriously twisty roads here, and I cannot fault the dynamic performance of this thing. Sure, it's got a little bit of understeer right at the very top of its limit, but otherwise, it's pretty damn good. To be fair though, this isn't exactly a track car. It misses out on the carbon ceramic brakes that you get standard on the coupe, and it does weigh an extra 120 kilograms. So arguably, you'd buy the coupe if you were going to track it. But how often are you going to do that compared to driving on a public road such as this? This thing is just so fast around these twisty sections. You can just see it biting into these corners, and it just sticks on like super glue. I have never been in a convertible this fast, and it is just sticking to the ground like you would not believe. Now Lamborghini tells me this thing has got 40% more structural rigidity than the Gallardo Spyder, and that's thanks to this monocoque chassis that it shares with the coupe. And around these twisty sections, that makes a hell of a difference. You really have to appreciate these sorts of cars. A naturally aspirated V10 supercar will soon be a thing for the history books. So while these things are still legal to be made new, it's really something to cherish. And if you buy it as a Spyder, you really do get to enjoy that soundtrack. The beauty of this roof system is that it takes just 18 seconds to go open or close, and it works at speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour. So you can do it while you're on the move. And that means you won't look like a complete idiot having to pull away from a set of lights when the roof is still half open. But even with the roof off and the windows up, even at 100 kilometers an hour, I could easily hold a conversation with my passenger. The aerodynamics of this thing, particularly affecting the cabin, are really well done. I've now done close to 400 kilometers in this thing, and I gotta tell you, unless you're willing to spend close to $1 million on an Aventador Roadster, this thing really is the best convertible for the money. And if you do ever happen to get bored of that glorious noise, just take the roof off and put on your best pretend celebrity face.